Check 1, 2, okay.
Check.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Damsels in Debate podcast number 2. I'm your host, Tina.
And I'm your co-host, Vanessa.
Yes, welcome. We made it to number 2. Yay. Okay.
Right, number 2.
So, Vanessa, did you do anything cool this week?
I wouldn't call it cool, but I did watch the rest of season 1 of Walking Dead because I couldn't help myself. It was like rainy, and I just said, you know what, I'll watch the rest of the season because I was so into it. So, and then the other day I watched 2 more episodes of season 2. So that's the cool quote unquote thing I did this week.
Vanessa is hardcore. She doesn't mess around. Well, that's pretty much better than what I did. I just did my normal stuff, went to work. One cool thing I did is I got this podcast on iTunes. So now you can go into iTunes and you go to the podcast section and you type in Damsels in Debate. Will actually pop up. So yay, I'm kind of excited about that. Anyway, on to what's going on in the entertainment world. Yeah, this is just the stuff that interested us. I mean, there's plenty other things going on. But one of the cool things I read is that J.J. Abrams, the guy who's going to be directing the new Star Wars, I don't want to say Star Trek, because he's doing Star Trek, but I don't want to say that. The new Star Wars movie said that they are more than likely going to get back John Williams to do the music for this one. Which is cool because obviously he did the music for the first.
Oh yeah, like
set.
the Darth Vader theme song and everything.
Oh yeah, all that, like the intro music and just all the Star Wars.
Well,
music.
that makes it easier, doesn't it? Doesn't he have rights to all that music? So if they use it again for like the Darth Vader score and stuff like that, they would have to have his permission or something.
I would think so. I don't really know the particulars on that kind of stuff.
Or is it the property of Disney now? You know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just curious.
I just think it's good. I mean, he's a great composer also. So, but it's good that they're going with the original guy. So, psyched about that. Something that I'm kind of interested about. As you know, they're making another Transformers movie, Transformers 4. Michael Bay is still directing it. And Shia, I don't think is going to be in it at all. Yes. But Mark Wahlberg is going to be in it. Yes. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. But also I read that Kelsey Grammer, the guy who plays Frasier Crane on my all-time favorite TV show, Frasier, is in talks to play a human villain in the movie. So
didn't Kelsey Grammer also play the big blue guy on the Magneto and X-Men? Like he played the blue guy. What's his name?
The Beast, right?
The Beast, yeah. So I was thinking the Animal. Like no, that's a movie with Rob Schneider. That's not it.
Oh yeah, no. It's a totally different movie.
Yeah.
He played the Beast, and I was actually psyched about that too when I first found out because I remember liking the Beast character on the cartoon. So, what's the third X-Men movie called? The Last Stand?
There's like 4 of them now or something like that. Well, there's 3, and then there's a Wolverine one coming out. But yeah, I think there's 3 of them totally. The Last Stand.
Yeah, I think it's called The Last Stand.
X-Men,
right?
There's X-Men United, and X-Men The Last Stand.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to blank on. I'm like, I know it's not just X-Men 3.
Oh my God! Who the hell cares?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, not that that's all important. I also read that, so they're making Macbeth again. I don't know how many times that's been made into a movie. And
I've never seen Macbeth.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Halfway reading through this article, I thought that they were talking about Hamlet. I don't really know the story either. But, I mean, it's interesting that they're making it again. And the thing that really interested me about it was that Michael Fassbender is going to be in it. And, we didn't really make mention of him last week, but Michael Fassbender is pretty fantastic. He's got that thing, that, I don't know, he's got a really good presence.
Well, he looks similar to the Loki character. Like they both have similar facial structures, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom Hiddleston has more of a pointed chin, but they have the same, like, I don't know, their eyes or something.
Michael Fassbender, to me, like, he's a really good actor. I really like him a lot. And he is attractive. But to me, he's one of those guys that falls into that category of where he's, like, really sexy, but, like, he's not... I mean, he's good looking, but he's not like The Rock good looking, where he's, like, you'd be hard-pressed to find a woman that does not find The Rock attractive. I mean, like, that's just being honest. But Michael Fassbender, I mean, he's kind of pale, and he looks older than he is. I think he's
Yeah.
only like in his early 30s, but to me he looks like he might be in his early 40s.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. But he kind of falls into that category for me. But I really, really like him in movies.
Well, back to the Macbeth thing, I saw him in Jane Eyre, which is a similar, like, you know...
a period piece.
Yeah, a period movie, yeah. And I loved him in that movie. Because I've seen the other Jane Eyre movies, but him and... what's her name? Wasikowska? Whatever her last name.
Yeah, Wasikowska.
Wasikowska.
Alice from Alice in Wonderland.
Exactly. Yeah, they both did a very good job in that movie. So,
okay.
and
I haven't seen that.
He had a lot of sex appeal in that movie, whereas normally the character in the last other Jane Eyre movies who played Mr. Rochester, I think that's his name, were not. I didn't find them very attractive. So,
he's got a presence. He's really, I really like him. I'm trying to think of what else I've seen him in. Obviously,
X-Men.
Yeah, the X-Men movie. He was very, very good in there.
Mm-hmm.
He was in 300. Have you seen 300?
Yeah, I have, but I don't remember. Yeah,
he's in there. He's like one of the he's one of the Spartans.
And it's Prometheus too.
Yes, he was in Prometheus. He's very good. Yeah, he's a good actor. I think he's really good.
He's an up and coming actor, I think.
Yeah, and he's Irish, German, English, something like that. European.
That's kind of wide, Tina. Irish, German.
Well, I don't know. Whatever.
9.
Yeah. Forget it. Moving on. Wait, my point was.
Oh, okay, sorry.
We went off on like a fast bender.
Yes, we did.
We went on a fast bender
Typical
there.
girl move.
Okay, but anyway, Michael Fassbender is going to be in Macbeth. That was where we were going. And Natalie Portman has signed on to play, I guess, Lady Macbeth. So that's interesting. I like Wow. Whoa. I like Natalie Portman also.
Yeah, she's been in so many different movies that I've seen her. I mean, I'm trying to add it to my movie list, that Leon the Professional, because she's in it, so I need to see that because that was like her first movie or something.
I'm pretty sure it was her first.
Yeah.
She's like, I think 10 years old or something, and she's really young. But yeah, it's a really good movie, especially since you love Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman's the bad guy in there. So, yeah, you'll like that. Another thing, I just found this really funny. I don't know how familiar you are with the Blue Collar Comedy Tour.
Jeff Foxworthy.
Right, yeah. You might be a redneck.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen the one or two specials, and they're funny. It's not like my exact type of stuff that I really like, but I still think some of the things are really funny.
He's not Jim Gaffigan.
No, but I mean, they have a gigantic following. But I read that they're doing plans, or they're putting down the groundwork to make a theme park.
A redneck theme park?
Yeah, in Alabama. And it's going to be called Blue Collar Country. So
that's interesting.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
It would be funny if they were building it like in Minnesota or something.
Or right in like the middle of Manhattan.
South, yeah. Like,
this doesn't fit. But I did notice when I was reading the article that it's just the three guys: Larry the Cable Guy, Jeff Foxworthy, and Bill Engvall. Like the other guy, Ron White, wasn't listed, so I don't know. I don't even know if he's still like. Do they still tour? Or I don't know anything about them really. I don't know. I just thought that was weird news that I should bring up. But
that's interesting.
Yeah, it's different for sure. I don't know if I'd actually make the trip out to Alabama to
We're going
go
on a road trip to go to Blue Collar or whatever, the theme park.
Okay, anyway. Yeah, those are the little entertainment news that, I mean, I found interesting. Kind of quirky stuff. Mm-hmm. But obviously the big news was Iron Man 3, and we'll get to that in a minute. Mm-hmm. Have you watched any good previews or any new trailers for any upcoming movies that you would like to talk about?
Well, we can talk about the ultimate best one ever, which is Thor 2.
Yeah,
Thor
we saw that again.
It's called. This is just because
I think it's called Thor: The Dark World.
The Dark World.
Right.
What's Into Darkness? That's Star Trek?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah, you're getting mixed up. Yeah.
Because we did see that, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm really excited about Star Trek. That comes out in 2 weeks, I think.
The special effects look amazing from that preview. Yeah. I was like, wow.
Yeah, and I think all the actors were really, like, I really, 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 really liked the first movie that came out a couple years ago. So that looks good. And the bad guy, I know that actor plays Sherlock Holmes, or did play Sherlock Holmes on the British TV show. So he's got like a really big following. I don't really know why, not to be mean, I don't really know why. I've never really seen him in anything, and he's not my cup of tea looks wise. So, but he looks like he's going to be a good villain. So I'm excited about that movie.
You know what's funny about that? You said my cup of tea because Rob was telling me something, and then he said, no, that's not my cup of tea. I'm like, you don't drink tea. You drink sweet tea. You should say, that's not my jug of sweet tea.
Well, I should say that too then, because I don't drink hot tea either.
That's not my jug of sweet tea.
Yeah, that's not my I don't drink coffee. That's not my drink. I'll just say that. Yeah, then there was, of course, the Catching Fire trailer. That looks really good.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, that's a given. We're both totally psyched about that. Going, the midnight premiere, all that crap. Can't wait for November.
We're going to dress up, too? We're going to dress like the girl on fire?
I'll wear my little Mockingjay ring that you gave me, but that's about it, I think.
Yeah, my little cupcake Mockingjay.
Exactly.
Like, don't ever tell me I never give you anything, Gina.
Yeah, she gives me stuff all the time. What about the Wolverine trailer? What did you think of that?
That, I mean, at first when I first saw it, I was like, oh, they're doing Wolverine again, because I just feel like they did the origins, and that totally, I did not like that at all. The Wolverine
I didn't
origins.
Either.
But I thought that, like, oh man, they're doing this again, this is, just too much. But the preview really interested me because they kind of hint that he loses his healing powers, because at one point he says, like, I'm not healing. He's, like, freaking out about it. So
right.
I like that aspect of it. I was still reeling over the Thor 2, so I don't think I paid too much attention to it because it played after. But from what I remember, yeah, and then, oh my gosh, Hugh Jackman is ripped.
Wait. When is Hugh Jackman not ripped?
Oh, well, even more so. I was just, oh my God. Like,
yeah, that
he
is
really,
a manly
worked
man
out
right
for this
there.
movie,
Yeah.
So that got me back on track to watching the preview. I was like, what? Shirtless?
Shirtless? Yeah, exactly. Big six-pack? What? Yeah. There was a parade of man candy in all those trailers. It was pretty nice. Yeah, I'm interested in that movie because it's Wolverine, but at the same time, like the Wolverine Origins movie, I didn't like that movie at all, and that had Ryan Reynolds in it too, and I love Ryan Reynolds, so yeah, I didn't care for that movie. But this one looks like they're handling it very differently. It's a very different type of movie, and from the trailers, I didn't get a clear-cut idea, but it looks like this is taking place after X-Men: The Last Stand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they had like a
prequels.
flashback or something of him with Jean Grey, and then she like dies or whatever at the end of the third movie. So I don't know exactly where this is taking place. You got a lot of these movies coming out, but I mean, I guess we'll find out when the movie comes out. So
yeah,
whatever. I do think they showed a lot of storyline in that trailer.
Yeah.
Which I'm not really a big fan of. It's with something like that. It's Hugh Jackman. He's playing the Wolverine, the character that made him super famous. Mm-hmm. So you've pretty much got people's interest right there. You don't need to delve so much into the storyline. So that's one thing I didn't really like about the trailer. I like having like a very basic idea, but I don't want to know major plot points and stuff like that before I go see the movie.
So you like teaser trailers who just give you just a glimpse, the teaser ones that get you, wanting more.
Right, yeah. Or give me one full-blown trailer, but then don't edit it. And the biggest example of that we saw was the trailer for Fast and Furious.
Oh, yeah.
Is it just Fast and Furious 6?
I feel like I've already seen that movie now.
Yeah,
because of that trailer.
this trailer.
Like, I don't even need to go see it. I've seen all the good scenes from it.
Yeah, exactly. And like with the first trailer that I saw for the first 2-minute trailer that I saw, the big finale part of the trailer was that whole thing with that big
airplane
jet or something, right?
Like
the car,
crashing.
Yeah, like shooting out of there. And so I thought this was going to be the same trailer, and it wasn't. It was something like totally different. So you see all this stuff with Letty and Dom, and then at the end, this really preposterous looking stunt with both
over
of them
the
jumping.
top. Oh my gosh! Like, jump into each other's arms. Like, there's no way they're gonna like.
But they're both in like these speeding cars, going on, driving in opposite directions on a bridge that's like a bazillion feet up. Yeah,
They really should have showed that, though. I mean, yeah, they stopped it right before they collided, but, like, well, why did you have to show that? I mean, granted, it's like, oh, wow, that looks cool, but, like, just show that to us, make us see that in the movie.
Save that for the movie, exactly.
So be like, wow, because now we're like, okay, where's that scene?
Right, I'm going to be looking for that scene, and I don't want to know about it. Like, you got me already. It's Fast and Furious 6. It's got The Rock. It's got Vin Diesel and Paul Walker. Sold.
So we're working for the Hulk now? That's like the best line in the whole
yeah, he
trailer.
does definitely look like the Hulk, too, in those movies. Not going to lie. So those were the main trailers. I mean, I think I'd seen all of those before.
I mean, I guess we talked about Thor 2 last week.
Yeah, we already talked about it.
But no, I just want to say how I was with Rob because we went and saw Iron Man 3 together, and he turns to me after the trailer saying, "Your boy looks like shit."
You're horrible. You're horrible.
He did look a little.
I was like, oh,
bit
come
of a
on, he's been
hotness.
locked up. Cut him some slack. But I just thought that was funny.
He needs like some conditioner or something for his hair, or straightener at the very least. But yeah, I mean, I'd seen all those trailers before, and it didn't change my opinion on the movies. I still want to see them all. So now it's time for clearing the queue. I did watch Breaking Bad this week, but I know you didn't get a chance to, so we'll
No, because I was watching the whole season of Walking Dead.
Yeah, you were in the middle of Atlanta with Walking Dead.
Totally my fault. I just had no urge to watch Breaking Bad, but maybe after you explain your feelings about it, maybe I'll get more into it, because because I'm so into Walking Dead, I was like, I want to watch more Walking Dead. I want to see more zombies.
That's totally cool. I mean, yeah, I've seen Walking Dead, so yeah, you should get up to speed. Yeah. So that's fine. We'll save that for next week. But go ahead. Tell us about Walking Dead. What are your feelings on it?
I'm now like episode 3 into season 2. I loved how season 1 ended with that whole the building exploding and everything. I mean, obviously the effects weren't as great as they could have been because it was a TV show, but it was still cool, that whole how it they thought they were safe, but no, they had to escape again. You had asked me earlier who my favorite character was, and actually when I thought about it, I was like, I actually think I like Andrea the most right now, just because she's realistic, you know, when the doctor was telling them how there's no other people out there searching for a cure and stuff, you know, it's hopeless, like she wanted to just die in the explosion, because who would want to die being like eaten alive by these zombies, you know? Exactly. I feel what she means, and I wouldn't be able to kill myself, you know, with like a gun or anything, so why just let the building do it? You know, but then she didn't want to have the one guy's, I forgot his name. Dale's blood on her hands, so she went out with him, which is something I just relate to her. Right. And especially, like, when she lost her sister. And I have a younger sister, and I felt her pain. So I don't know, there's something I like her personality and her view on things.
Cool, yeah. I don't want to tell you, like, who my current favorite or, you know, most hated characters are or anything, but I will say, like, at that point of the show, she was one of my favorites too. I did like her a lot. Who else did I really like? Rick, I kind of want to like, but there's always something about it that's holding me back. There's something like that's just not there in the character. But yeah, Andrea definitely liked a lot. Who else was there? The kid. I am totally forgetting his name.
Which one?
Glenn,
the Asian kid. Yeah,
I like him a lot too. Or I did like him a lot.
Why me? You're like, 'cause you know the way. It's like, no.
yeah, I liked him a lot.
I can say that I was getting so I lost my train of thought. I was getting so tired of the does my kid, it's more becoming like a soap opera more than like zombies and stuff. So I was like, you know, normally I'm not one for gore, you know, but I was like totally like, come on, more zombies, you know. Right. And then another thing that bothered me was like when the one guy cut his arm trying to hide from the zombies, and he's like gushing blood, and the next thing he just has a bandage over it. Like, did they stitch that up? I mean, like, there's no way they should just put a little patch over it. Oh, we're fine.
Yeah,
so that's things that bother me.
There's definitely little things like that, and you will notice a few inconsistencies with the zombies, with their strength, with their speed. And all the women, you know, don't ever get hairy armpits. You know, it's just like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then the other thing, when they're walking through that highway with all the cars, there's all these dead people sitting in the car. It's like, well, how did they die? They're just sitting in their car. Like, I don't understand. They weren't. If they were bitten, they would have been walking with the other people. So how did they die? That's what I'm totally lost on.
I had that same question when that happened. So, I really liked the that was the premiere, right? That where they saw the cars on the highway.
I think so. I think that's episode 1 of season 2.
I like that because all of a sudden they had to hide because there was like a big horde behind them, right? Yeah, I really like that.
I knew something was going to happen though with one of the stupid kids going to come out too early or something. And sure enough, and she's like, oh, and the girl runs and it's like, oh,
damn kids.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm still into it. So now I'm into where the kid got shot and they went and grabbed the mom to go see the kid, and they're trying trying to find supplies to operate on the kid, even though the guy's a veterinarian. So I'm like, oh God.
Well, he's better than nobody.
Yeah.
Well, at that point of the show, I hated Lori, Rick's wife, the mom of Carl.
No, I don't like her at all, honestly.
Oh my God, she's so friggin' annoying. I can't stand her. But anyway, I'm glad you're hopping on the Walking Dead bus.
Yeah.
Little late, but whatever.
I'll catch up, don't worry.
Yeah, you'll catch up real fast. Let's see. So I said that last week I was going to watch Bless the Child, which I did. All done. And one thing I noticed right away in the opening credits of the movie is that it's based on a novel. So I wanted to ask you, did you read that novel?
No, I didn't even know it was based on a novel.
Oh, okay.
So that might be interesting.
Yeah, because stuff
story.
changes, between the movie and the novel. Sometimes people like one or the the more. So.
I thought you were going to say it was based on a true story. I'm like, what?
No, I think I would have texted you at that point.
Yeah.
Been like, hey, what's this shit you're making me watch? Well, actually, I did do that because there's a scene in this. Actually, there's a couple of scenes in this movie where there's a million rats running all over the place.
And Tia doesn't like rats.
Yeah, anybody? Yes. I don't like rodents. I mean, I don't like rodents or insects
or birds.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit of a girly girl when it comes to that stuff. Sorry, that's me. Yeah, I mean, if there's something on the floor, I'm up and standing in the chair screaming. That's me, whatever. But yeah, I'm really afraid of rats. And there's several scenes in this movie where the rats are just covering the floor and being nasty and hissing, and it gave me nightmares, to be honest. So I text Vanessa, and I said, why are you making me watch this? You're going to give me nightmares. What the hell? Ooh.
I said, I know it's a good movie. I haven't seen it in years, though, so I didn't remember that scene. There's only certain scenes that stand out in my head, so I'm like, sorry?
I think she just wanted to scare me, to be perfectly honest.
Well, that is fun.
Mm-hmm.
So what'd you think?
Anyway, the movie was pretty interesting. I didn't love it. In the beginning, I thought there was a lot of time jumps. I could see why, because they did need to cover a good amount of ground, and they had to have the kid a little bit older. She couldn't be a baby. Mm-hmm. But it was a little jarring at first. Yeah, the rats just threw me. I was like, oh, I can't take this movie anymore.
It stays in your mind, huh?
Yeah. Exactly. And then there was a scene in the schoolyard where the bird flew into the window, and so then all the kids are outside, and the little girl Cody, she's holding the bird, and she ends up healing it, and the bird flies away. And all I could think of was when she was holding it, besides being grossed out that she was holding a bird, secondly, I'm like, ew, there must be so many germs on that thing. It's been all over. It's been all over the place. It's gross.
What did you think about Rufus Sewell as the villain?
Isn't he? I think he's just a bad guy in general.
Yeah, he always plays.
He always plays a bad guy or a good guy you don't really root for. Mm-hmm. He's good as a bad guy. I like him. He's got those really intriguing eyes.
Mm-hmm. Those features, yeah.
Yeah, he's got very distinct features. I liked him. I think he's good as a bad guy. I always like Jimmy Smits too, and Kim Basinger. I like her too. So I liked all the actors in it. Christina Ricci, whatever her name is, Wednesday Addams. She was good in there. Her role wasn't that big. I thought it was going to be a little bit bigger, but it was good. She did well. I got real souped in the middle of the movie where Jimmy Smits is a library or something like that, and this janitor comes and starts talking to him and just gives him some good advice or something. And the guy who plays the janitor was one of my favorite characters on a show that just recently ended called Spartacus that I am in love with. I was like, oh, it's Animagus, oh my god, and then he goes away. He was just in that one little scene. But whatever, that's
you interested in the movie again, huh?
Well, no, I was still paying attention and stuff. So yeah, it was pretty good. I didn't love it, but I wasn't bored with it either.
You didn't think it was like that movie you saw last week that was filmed in Ybor?
No, it was way better than that. Parasitic is the name of that movie. Don't ever watch it. I'm telling you now, don't ever watch it. No, it was nowhere near that bad. I like
based on overall what effects and acting, plot.
Well, the effects were kind of crap, but
it's an older movie though.
Yeah, it's an older movie, and movies generally in that time period, I think it was the late 90s or maybe 2000. A lot of movies, they were going for that, like, realistic look, but the effects weren't quite there yet. So, but I'll forgive that because that was with the time.
When you ever get around to watching The Langoliers, you'll be like, oh my God, these effects. But it's a good movie, but the effects are like, oh God,
well, there's a lot of movies where the effects, you forgive them because the movie's good. Like, The Thing. Have you ever, did you see The Thing? No.
Blasphemer!
We're adding that to the queue.
I'm not a horror movie buff like you are.
Well, this movie came out, I think, in 82. And I don't think there's any CGI in the movie. It's all puppets and makeup and all that kind of stuff. And it's noticeably fake. But you get so into the movie, it doesn't even matter.
Well, that makes it a good movie then, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, no, I mean, the effects, they weren't great, but it didn't, like, really take me out of the movie or anything. So it was okay. I didn't mind it, yeah. All right, so what did you watch from your queue?
I watched The Birdcage with Robin Williams and Nathan Lane, and I loved it. I was watching this alone at home, like when it was raining out, because it rained 2 days in a row. So I watched Walking Dead one day and then The Birdcage the next day. And I'm sitting on my couch alone, bursting, like just busting, what do you call it, busting a gut?
Busting a gut.
Gosh. Couple points I want to make. I actually, film-wise, I love they have a really long pan at the beginning. You start at the ocean, you slowly go into the club, and it follows the people around in the club. It's one shot.
Yeah,
which I love. I was
like,
oh, that's awesome. Like, they finally have a cut later on, but I was like, that must have been hard to do in the cut like that.
I think they actually did end up, I remember reading about it somewhere, probably on IMDb, but they did, it is different shots, but they blended it so that it looks like all one continuous shot. Yeah.
I noticed a couple film mistakes, but again, the stuff I noticed, but it didn't bother me. I still was into the movie. But there's one scene where Robin Williams' character, his son, tells him he's getting married, and Robin Williams drains his wine glass, like empty. And the guy's like, "Oh, you okay?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm fine." He gets up to refill his wine glass, but when he gets up, it cuts to a different camera, and his wine glass is half full again. Like he didn't but he hadn't filled it yet. I was like, "Hey."
I will say about that, because in school for a couple of film projects, I had to be the continuity person, and that is a bitch of a job. Like, I hate it. It's like, what hand was he holding the pen in?
Oh, yeah.
How far down was the pretzel he was chewing on? Like, it's really nerve-wracking. I don't like that job. So
that was something, like, normally I don't notice stuff like that, but that was an obvious. I was like, hey, because they were zoomed in and he drained it, and then it was folding. I'm like, okay. But definitely, the comedy, the between those two characters, like I know what to call it. The banter. There you go. Between those two characters, and you could tell in several scenes, like they're about to crack up. Like, and maybe they did, and they could say they edited it out. But because Robin Williams has that little smirk in certain scenes, but Nathan Lane definitely made that character. Just even in one of the first scenes where Nathan Lane doesn't want to go out and perform, like, I feel bloated, and he's like, what does he say to Robin Williams? He says, like, oh, you're just being such a man, you're just holding against me, because you're such a man and I'm a woman. And then Robin Williams is like, you're not a woman. It's like, oh, you bastard.
Yeah, I know exactly part with Tom. Yeah.
But there's so many scenes that I burst out laughing, especially Hank Azaria's character, as when he comes back and he's cleaning the house, but he's dancing the Gloria Estefan and he's shaking his leg. I was cracking up laughing, and then when they kicked him out, he's like, "Come on, Gloria," and it takes the stereo with him.
He's got that orange wig on. Yeah, I love that movie.
But the one scene that I would recommend anybody just to find on YouTube and watch is when Robin Williams' character Armand is teaching Nathan Lane's character how to eat and act and walk like a man. Oh, because it's so funny, especially when he kind of walk like John Wayne, and so he attempts to do it, but it's a very feminine version of John Wayne. He's like, "What, was that bad?" He's like, "No, I just never realized that John Wayne actually does walk that way." But yeah, that was such a great, I actually ended up buying it, and so I'm gonna have the movie. I'm gonna make my sister watch it. I was like, this is funny, all the way out. I definitely what's the word? I definitely foresaw them dressing the senator in drag. I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
I could feel it. I was like, how are we gonna get out? They're gonna recognize me. Oh, he's gonna be dressed in drag.
Right. Oh, Gene Hackman does not make a very attractive woman.
So yes, A+, Tina. Thank you for recommending that. I don't know how I missed out on that. The only thing I think of is my parents are very conservative, so they probably wouldn't let me see that when I was a kid. So.
Right. Well, yeah, and I think I had mentioned to you, because I think it came out in 96 or something like that. And it is a little dated with a lot of the gay stuff and the way people act about it. But I mean, there's still people that are narrow-minded and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I think it holds fine, and it's still hilarious. I quote that movie all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad you liked it.
Definitely.
But yeah, once you said you were a fan of Hank Azaria, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
you gotta watch this movie.
Yeah.
Cracking up just thinking about it. Well, there is one more movie that's not actually in the in our queue, but we said we were going to see it, and it's like the only movie that mattered this week, really.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about anything else.
I don't even know what else released this week.
I honestly, I don't think anything else came out. Like, why would any
What's
of the
the point?
movie?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. I don't think so.
I think
I'm going
The
to check it
Wedding.
online.
I don't know.
Oh, that
big
big
wedding? Yeah.
Okay, maybe that came out.
So I heard somebody buying tickets in front of me saying, like, two for the wedding.
Oh, jeez,
I was like,
really?
that poor guy, because it was a girl and a guy. Like,
he probably
must
snuck
love her.
out. Yeah. All right. Well, the movie, obviously, that we are talking about, and what we will spend the remainder of this podcast on, is Iron Man 3. Woo!
I'm sorry, this is the fun bee. The humdrum bee's back there.
All righty. Let's see. I don't even know how we want to go about this. Well, okay, Vanessa.
Tina.
What were your thoughts on the movie, just in general?
My initial thoughts after seeing the movie in its entirety and staying after credits and seeing that was...
Oh, hang on. Spoiler alert! Okay.
We are going to talk about spoilers. I mean, I would think everybody and their brother would go see the movie this weekend, but in case you didn't, we are going to spoil the hell out of this movie. So if you don't want to know anything, stop right now and get rid of this podcast. So,
But
that
don't
being
unsubscribe. Stay subscribed.
Oh, right,
But,
exactly. Yeah,
just
but just
don't listen to
giving
the
you a
rest
heads up, don't send any hate mail saying we spoiled the movie for you, because we are going to do it starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, the whole movie, like, I don't know, as I was watching it, I had a little trouble following the plot in terms
Okay.
like they were introducing all these different things that were happening in terms of like the people that had the fire come out of their skin, and then they had the Mandarin guy, which came out just out of the blue, and like I didn't know if that was something from the comic books with Iron Man that I was supposed to know about already, but it
What
seemed to have-
part? The twist with
Oh no,
the
no,
Mandarin,
no!
or-
That I just didn't understand the whole with the people breathing fire and all that stuff. Like, is that from the comic? Because that just was introduced so quickly. I mean, it was a long movie. I mean, finally they made me understand it, but at first, for like a good 15 minutes, I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, because you see it very briefly in the beginning of the movie during the flashback with her and her special plant that
Right,
can regenerate
and
itself,
it
right?
regenerate with the fire. Yeah.
Yeah, because when it first happened, I was like, "What? Oh yeah, okay." I forgot about the plant
Right.
actually in the very beginning of the movie.
I must say that the sarcastic humor that Robert Downey Jr. just is so good at delivering it totally made that movie for
right?
me.
Yeah,
It's
he is Tony Stark.
Yeah, just that line with the kid was trying to guilt trip him to staying, and the kid was outside the car, and previously the kid had said like, "Oh, we're connected," you know, and it was
Right.
like, "Oh, you're trying to guilt trip me," and the kid's like, "I'm cold," and he's like, "Oh, yes, I know." He's like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, because we're connected," and he
And he
like
drives
drives
off.
off. Oh, it was so funny. Like I cracked up laughing.
Yeah, I was a little worried that some of his antics, you know, like the way he is, might get old, you know, because this is actually the 4th movie
Yeah.
where he's been a central character, so I was worried that stuff might get old, but it's fine by me. I didn't have any complaints about that.
Oh, I loved Guy Pearce as a villain,
Yes.
and he looked really good in that movie too. I mean, well, when later on, not the beginning, when
Oh,
he had
yeah.
the curly blonde hair. At first,
Yeah.
I didn't recognize him. I'm like, oh, that's the guy. That's Guy Pearce.
yeah, he's good at like really getting into roles where you don't even recognize him.
Yeah. So I appreciate him as a villain. Like he convinced me that he was a bad guy. I was like, what a jerk.
Yeah, he was pretty mean in there.
I love the twist with the Mandarin. How all of a sudden he was this like goofy English guy after
Yeah.
being like this scary like, oh, I'm gonna kill him on camera in front of the president.
His accent, like I'm like, what? I can't figure out this accent at all.
So overall, I enjoyed it, but some people were telling me beforehand it was like the best one of the 3. I still prefer the first one, and
Right.
I still prefer Avengers, like Tony Stark in Avengers. You know, like the Iron Man story with that.
Okay.
So, but out of the Iron Man series, I prefer the Iron Man, the first one.
So this is a kind of sort of off topic, and we'll come back real quick. But so okay, you like the Avengers is the movie for you, the Marvel movie for you.
Yeah.
So do you like Tony Stark / Iron Man more as a like a supporting character?
Oh, that's hard to say. I definitely I'd have to say that I like Avengers more than Iron Man 3.
Okay.
I like them as a group. I mean, he worked as a team in this movie with all his other, and that was really cool too, with all his different suits that he had created.
Oh my God,
the new
I love
technology
that part at the end when they all came flying in. I was like,
Nerd alert!
So that I liked how they did that. How they brought that out further. His how smart he is and how he made up all these new the new technology. And at the very end, it says, because he ends up. They ended it well in that, he got the shrapnel out of his chest, and then he's giving up the suit and everything for Gwyneth Paltrow, basically.
Right.
I understand why you didn't give up the suit. But after the credits, that Tony Stark will return. Everyone's like, yeah!
Yeah, well, I mean...
He has to.
Yeah, exactly. He has to. There's no doubt about it.
So, yeah, I definitely recommend people see it. It's a good... if that ends the Iron Man, series, standalone movies, and yeah, I thought it was a good ending for it.
Now, okay, so since you've seen this movie last night, you've had a couple hours to digest it. Do you think, with the way that it ended and everything, do you think that we need another Iron Man standalone movie, or should he just appear in the Avengers from now on?
I think just if he shows up in Avengers 2 is fine, because in this movie he got rid of the shrapnel. That was the main thing, that was keeping him down was the shrapnel in his chest, but then he destroyed all his suits and everything, so he's kind of giving it up. I don't know how they would do another movie, so unless they have him create something even more over the top with the suits in the Avengers 2, and then maybe another Iron Man movie after that. But I don't see that happening, though. I think just his making an appearance in Avengers 2, maybe helping them by creating something, else for that, but then retiring it or something.
Well, he can make another suit easily, so that's not too much of a problem. But it'll be interesting to see what makes him put back on a suit,
right?
Which I guess would be, what's that guy's name? Thanos or Kranos or whatever, the one that was in the Avengers.
Thanos, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That guy's obviously going to make an appearance.
Yeah, because throughout the movie he was having anxiety attacks over New York, so he doesn't want to do it anymore. He doesn't want to be a superhero anymore. And the people oh my God, we love you, Tony Stark. He said the one thing that's important to him was Pepper. He said, I want to keep the one thing safe. So I don't see him putting on that suit again to be a hero and saving everybody.
Right. Now, what did you think? Did you go into this thinking that Pepper was going to die?
No, I didn't.
Because a couple people I know did, and they did allude to that a little bit in the trailers and stuff. So, as my sister, I think, was really thought that she was going to die in the movie. So I was just wondering.
And they really make you think that she did. But the thing is, when that happened, I'm like, no, she's not dead. I did not believe it at all.
I knew she wasn't dead because she had that stuff injected into her.
I was like, no, because the other guy kept getting blown up and come back alive. So, I heard a couple people, gasping and stuff. And, if she really had died, I'm like, wow, that was quick.
Yeah, that was hurtful. That was it.
But, no, I definitely didn't believe it at all. But maybe that's how they wanted it to be. But I was like, no, she's not dead. She's just, gathering herself back together. But what I will say is when she killed Guy Pearce's character, that was just anticlimactic. Because Tony Stark, he had been fighting him for the whole 15 minutes, and all of a sudden she turns around and then now he's dead. And then it's kind of it reminded me of The Dark Knight Rises when Bane gets shot by Catwoman on the bike.
Yeah,
that was anticlimactic.
I was really not. happy with that.
That's what it reminded me of. I was like, oh, well, now he's dead. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Rob was whispering to me oh, it's gonna be cold that kills him. They're gonna freeze him or do something because all the fire wasn't killing him. So that's what I was expecting too. But I didn't really see how she killed him. She threw something and then exploded it.
It was wasn't it like a missile or not maybe a missile, but a grenade or something?
It was a little white thing. I don't know.
Yeah, something that really made him explode where he couldn't get back together.
So that bothered me a little bit, but other than that,
okay. Well, I
don't really have any questions for you. You kind of were asking them all for me.
Well, I'll give my review now, but I wanted to just ask.
Well, you can talk about the after the credits stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I really like this movie a lot. I mean, I've only seen it once, and it was a couple hours ago, so it's hard to give it a rank. But I think I'm still going to go with the first movie as my favorite. But this is definitely, I enjoy this way more than I enjoyed the second one. And I enjoyed it on a different level, too, because the movie it doesn't feel like a superhero movie. It's more of a action comedy kind of movie to me. And that's one of my favorite probably my top favorite genre. So I that wasn't bad. Like I really, really like that aspect of the movie. And the movie was written and directed by a guy called Shane Black. And I'll give you a little history lesson just because otherwise it just sounds stupid if I'm just talking about some guy and you don't know who I'm talking about. He wrote and directed Iron Man 3. He also wrote and directed Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. And he wrote, what else did he write? He wrote, I think, he wrote at least some of all the Lethal Weapon movies. The Long Kiss Goodnight, Last Action Hero, and The Last Boy Scout. And all those movies...
I've literally not seen any of those movies.
You're killing me.
Boo, you whore.
I'm going, oh, okay. I'm like nodding. Oh, okay, like I know what she's talking about.
Yeah, so this... Well, hopefully whoever listens to this
Sounds
podcast...
like a great guy, though.
Okay, well, anyway. The point is he can do action comedy really, really well.
Okay.
And he's got, like, certain, like... I guess you could call them, like... isms or calling cards or whatever that always show up in his movies. Like all his movies, or a lot of his movies, are always centered around Christmas time, which this one was. There's always like a buddy friend relationship, and there's a lot of banter in it, which this one obviously had. And yeah, there's a really good blend of action and comedy and a little bit of like a mystery solving mission at some point in the movie. Or there's a lot of narration in the movie, which this movie had all those things in it.
Yeah.
And he hasn't done anything really, obviously, because a lot of these movies came out a while ago. And Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, I think, came out in the early 2000s. I'm not sure exactly, but besides that, you haven't really heard anything from him. So I was really excited when I heard that he was going to do this movie, especially because in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Robert Downey Jr. stars in that movie. And that was kind of like his comeback movie, because remember, he had all those drug problems for a while. And so that was the first movie he did that was like, oh, hey, it's Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, exactly. And he's perfect in the movie. Like, it's just the way that they... Like, it's like he, like, wrote the character for Robert Downey Jr. It's just perfect. And so when I found out he was doing this movie, I'm like, oh, this is going to be awesome. Like, I'm so excited. So I was really excited to see how the movie was going to turn out because of that. And then this whole thing with the Mandarin, the twist, with Ben Kingsley's character, I didn't see that coming. I don't know if anybody else did, but I didn't see that coming at all. And I know people that read the comics, that doesn't happen at all in the comics. Like, he is a character. Like, the Mandarin is the Mandarin. He's not like a puppet. And I like that aspect of the movie a lot. But I never read the comics, so it didn't matter to me. It was just, part of the movie, and I didn't see it coming, so it was cool. So in this instance, I'm really glad that I don't read the comics, because I don't have to worry. Like, I'm not like, oh, well, it would have been better if, Well,
there's probably some people who have read the comics are going, what are they doing?
Oh, well, yeah, because I skimmed a couple reviews this morning, since I'd already seen, because I don't read reviews till after I see the movie, just because I don't want to get spoiled. And a lot of people were,
Inconceivable!
this is an insult to the Mandarin, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff.
Audacity.
Yes. Oh, yeah, all that crap. So, but I liked it. It was cool to me. And I was actually, another reason why I like that is because it made Guy Pearce's character, Killian, I think his name was, he was the bad guy. And I think Guy Pearce can do a bad guy really, really well. So, and in the beginning of the movie, I'm like, oh, well, he's, the Mandarin's puppet, basically. But it turned out, no, he's
the other way around.
Yeah, exactly. So I really like that.
And then the third twist, it was the vice president that was funding Killian or whatever. He said, I found somebody who, or something like that. He says it to the president, like, I found someone who wants to invest.
Yeah, exactly. So, I really like that twist. And it didn't bother me at all. And let's see, what else?
The credits?
After the credits. Well, I like that, how they set it up so that his whole narration, in the beginning of the movie, and then at the very end and stuff, was him explaining everything to Bruce Banner.
Do you think, because a lot of people, like, half the theater got up and left, so I wonder, like, if they...
I don't know why the hell they did
see
that.
it, like, because that, I think, helps complete the movie, because he's narrating, like, okay, is he talking to the audience? Like, who is he talking to? Right. Iron Man, is he talking to the press? Like, who is he talking to? And then it makes sense, because he's having these anxiety things and stuff. He's talking to his friend, like a doctor, but then he's like, I'm not that kind of doctor.
Exactly, yeah. It was more like of a self-contained thing, because usually with the Marvel movies, after the credits, it's just setting up the next movie. But this was just an add-on to like you said, like to complete this movie. So yeah, I really like that after the credits scene. Let me see, I'm trying to think of anything else I could say that's good about it, because there were some things that I didn't like. Oh, there were some really funny parts in this movie, weren't there?
Oh yeah, like I said, with the like, because we're connected.
Yeah, and then the one part where Tony like has killed a whole bunch of the henchmen, and then the one guy's standing at the bottom of the stairs, and Tony turns around, and he's about to blast him, and the guy drops his gun. He's like, "Dude, I don't even like working here. I'm just gonna leave," and he runs away. Oh
like,
my god,
people are mean. I don't even like working here. He just
I could
off.
not stop laughing at that part. That was so funny. And like you were saying about the end, how you didn't see that coming. Like because I figured at the end, you know, he'll defeat the Mandarin, and he'll just go on being
Iron Man.
Yeah. And so, yeah, like you said, he got rid of all his suits. He got the shrapnel out of his chest. So he's like a complete person. He's totally different. I didn't expect that at all. And I like that, too. It'll be interesting to see how they bring him into the Avengers again, because you know he's going to be back.
Well, he even said it himself. He's like I said, I'm a changed man.
Right,
so
right.
he's not the same guy anymore.
Yeah. And
Not
he
the
is
playboy,
Iron Man.
billionaire, philanthropist, whatever.
Exactly, yeah. But he is Iron Man, even though he doesn't have the suit. He's still Iron Man. He can still do all that stuff. So yeah, and it is different. It's not exactly what people are expecting. I think that's another reason why people might be like, "Oh, well, it wasn't really that good," because it's more of an action movie than a superhero movie.
Right.
But it is also the third movie in the Iron Man series, or you know, in this series. So by the third movie, you have to do something.
You
can't
change
just,
it up, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I really liked the movie. There were some things I didn't like about it, though.
Do tell.
Yes, which I'll go into that. His whole post-traumatic stress disorder that he had after New York, I thought he played that well, but also I feel like it kind of just went away. Like he didn't really deal with it. Like he was, you know, he kept having little bouts of it throughout the movie.
Yeah, and he's having that nightmare that one time.
Right. But I feel like it didn't get
itself.
addressed. Yeah, it just kind of just went away. So whatever. Which, as we all know, something like that wouldn't just go away.
Well,
and
didn't it like, because he was having one and he had pulled the car over and he was talking to, Rhodey or something?
He's talking to the kid.
He said, to the kid. And I said, why don't you just build something? And he's like, oh, like maybe that took his mind off of it.
I took his mind off of it, but until the next time it happens again.
Right.
So, and I like that they had him have that, because that makes him more human, and that makes sense for his character to go through that, because he really thought he was going to die at the end of Avengers and all that stuff. But I just kind of feel like it just disappeared. It was like a plot device.
Yeah.
It was acted well, but it needs some resolution.
It was acted very in a funny way too, definitely.
Yeah, it fit.
When he gets in the
character.
suit, he's like, "Check my brain, check the heart, check the brain."
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You just had basically a spaz attack.
After the explosion in front of the theater, which I can't remember the name of it right now, the one where Happy, gets injured.
Yeah.
And Tony's, at home going over everything, and he busts out that big hologram, and he's like looking at pieces and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? I was a little like, I mean, he has the technology, and he's, super intelligent and all that crap, but I just felt like that was a little like, oh, come on.
Like you can pick up pieces of the crime scene inside his house and stuff and read them,
expand the view.
Because you have to imagine, like, someone had to have taken a camera and panned it or something to have rebuilt that crime scene. But again, it's technology that we don't, understand, because, just like no one today has an Iron Man suit like that.
Right.
So
and that's a little quip. So whatever. That was just something that kind of bugged me, but whatever. No, not that big a deal. I was really hoping that they would totally take care of this, but there were certain points in the movie, especially when they were like, oh, the Mandarins actually had 9 bombings and the public only knows about 3 or whatever. I felt like S.H.I.E.L.D. or Nick Fury should have been there at some point. Not even, like Captain America, I would say you take out of it, because he's still like adapting to the new year. And Bruce Banner, you don't want to involve him unless you have to, because of his rage.
He's
and all
near
that
an
kind
explosion like that. Yeah, it would come out. So yeah,
right, exactly. And who else is there? Then see, that's another thing. You have Hawkeye and Black Widow. Like I just feel like the human people, like S.H.I.E.L.D. should have been in there somewhere. Yeah. So
yeah, the only thing I can think of is my sister leaned over like, "What? Where are the rest of the Avengers?" I'm like, "Well, all the explosions seem to be centered in the United States, so it wasn't like a global catastrophe like with the Tesseract was in the Avengers."
Yeah.
So maybe Shield knew about it, but we're waiting to see if it became a global threat, like to the actual Earth. Like then they would get involved, I guess.
Yeah, I mean I guess we'll just have to go with that.
Yeah, yeah.
I was hoping that it would be more where it wouldn't come into my brain, but it still
bothers you. It's still
a little
like
bit,
a
yeah.
like,
but
hey.
it wasn't. I mean, I wouldn't say don't see the movie because of that or anything, but it's just a little thing that irked me a bit.
Grinds your gears.
You really grinds my gears. No, but I loved all the Shane Black influences throughout the movie, and I hope somebody that listens to this likes Shane Black as much as I do, because email me, we'll talk about it. Yeah. But yeah, I really like the movie, and the more I sit on it, the more I like it, actually. So
I think I may have to see it again, just because, like I said, I was confused in the first third of it, like, what's going on? But now that I know how it ends, I think I will catch stuff more.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Here's where they foreshadow this, and
right,
so
exactly.
I think I need to see it again.
Yeah, if I get a chance, I'm going to see it again.
It's kind of like with Inception, like, oh my gosh, like I saw that like 3 times, and I'm like, oh, I totally get it
every
now.
time I see that movie.
Yeah, I catch more
something.
things. Yeah,
that.
So.
Exactly.
So I may see it again and then totally love it. So
right. I mean, people just they might not like it. For me personally, because I love that genre and that style and all that stuff, I really, really enjoyed it. I could see where people wouldn't, you know. So that's basically my review on Iron Man.
And my review on Iron Man.
So now, because I'm like, I got my heart on for Shane Black here. For next week, I'm gonna go ahead and just trump whatever you say. I think you need to watch Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Okay.
Because like I said, Shane Black directed it and wrote it.
And Robert Downey Jr. is in it.
He stars in it, yeah. And the relationship between his character and Val Kilmer's character in the movie, Val Kilmer co-stars with him. And the relationship between them two, the banter is hilarious. Like, it's great. And that's another movie. It's very dialogue heavy, but you catch things, like each time I see that, I catch stuff that I didn't hear last time. And it's like, I love that movie. It's hilarious. I quote it all the time. I love it. I really hope you like it.
Okay. I trust you.
Yeah. But you'll see all the stuff I'm talking about here, all the stuff I'm rattling off. You'll see it in the movie. And definitely watch the outtakes, because they're hilarious too.
Okay. You'll have to give me the DVD.
Yes, I will let you borrow my DVD. I am going to go ahead and pick You've Got Mail.
Yay.
Never seen that. Yeah, I love Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan's
It's a nice romantic comedy.
Yeah, I think I should see it. It's something
I will forewarn you. It is a little dated in that, because it was done in the time where people had the dial-up and the really big laptops, like the thicker laptops. Yeah. So it may bug you in terms of that, because you're like, you're like the dial-up. Yeah. So it is dated in that aspect. But it's the chemistry between Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks is always really good.
Exactly.
So in the way, just the storyline is really funny too. So I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. So, yeah, that's our podcast today. A little Iron Man heavy, but hey, it's Iron Man.
That was a big thing, yeah.
Yeah, and I definitely want to see the movie again, because I really enjoyed it. And, so I'm excited to watch You've Got Mail, and I'm excited that you're going to watch Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
I'm excited to see it, yeah. No, really.
All right, well, that's about it for this week. If you want to send us any email, our email is damselsindebate@gmail.com. We're also on Twitter, just Damsels in Debate. And we're also on Facebook now. You can look for our Facebook page. It's, again, you just search Damsels in Debate podcast, and we'll pop right up. You have any closing statements?
No, just if we've ruined Iron Man 3 for you, I'm sorry, but you should still go see it, even though we've basically told the line. But I do...
And it's your fault, because we said there were spoilers.
Exactly. But yeah, I want to go see it again, so I think I will see it again after it's been out for a while.
Yeah. Let it sit and marinate for a while.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's
Thanks
it.
for listening.
Yep. Have a good night or day or whatever.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.